Welcome to Umoja Voice, our monthly program with me, Marie Ndale.
With me, Joe Santiago.
With myself, Jackie Burnett.
Umoja means unity.
We as Africans need to unite to discuss solutions for us, by us.
We will be talking about asset-based wealth creation,
Youth empowerment,
wealth protection,
health and wealth, how they go together.
Because your health is your wealth.
Welcome to our monthly program,
Umoja Voice.
Hello, this is Umoja Voice. Welcome to our conversation this afternoon. Today we will be having a beautiful conversation with Mutu Rosa. My colleague next to me is Sister Marie from Umoja Voice. I now hand over to Mutu Rosa.
Thank you for having me here today. I am Mutu Rosa I am Brazilian. And my institution, Casa de Maate, is located in Brazil, but has been working with people in different parts of the globe. And I started Casa de Maate over a decade ago. My foundation, professional background is in chemistry. When I was living in Brazil, that's my field. In moving to the United States, I started to do a lot of things. And one day I went to the Academy of Chemical Education when I was open to a different aspect of Africa. I was invited to know a different part of Africa that never has been shown to me. And that is when I started this journey with Casa de Maate. And I'm going to explain, I believe later, what it is and why I am so committed with the rescue of these African practices for our health, for our well-being as African in the diaspora, and why it's necessary to bring out these practices for this day, for the day that we are living now, for the situations that we have to go through the day in the daily basis.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sister Rosa. You're really welcome to coming into our midst. We know we have had lots of nuggets of information from you when we met at our Jamaica summit. We had an Ubuntu summit in Jamaica in February last year, and Sister Rosa was wonderful in bringing us together in that bringing that harmony and balance. So as my sister Jackie said, my name is Marie Ndale, and I am part of the team of Umoja Generational Wealth. And we are here on the panel as well with Jose Santiago. Can you say a word, please, Jose?
Yeah, thanks a lot for these sisters. I'm privileged to be amongst all my three sisters. And funny enough, in at least 3 different countries at the minute. So part of the team too, and simply just honored to be here.
Thank you, and welcome everybody. Right, so Sister Rosa, can you explain to our listeners, to ourselves, what is Maat?
Maat is the harmonious balance in which the universe was created. Is the principle, the Casa de Maate have, with a group of brothers and sisters in Brazil and Cape Verde, we are dedicated to study the ancient Africa with specific attention to Kemet, what is known today as Egypt. So Egypt's original name is Kemet, and all
Egypt.
that region,
Okay.
exactly, yes.
Okay.
That region has, it's like a library, which so much of our history,
Yeah.
which is so much, we used to say our story, because it's what we need to know, and it was hidden from us. So Ma'at is the principle of truth, justice, order, harmony, a balance, and moral in the character. And as we look around us, we look, no matter where we are. Brother José said that we are in 3 different countries. No matter what country we are, what we look around, when we look around in African community, what we see most of the time, we are living under different culture than our culture, different legacy than our legacy. And so Ma'at is the principle that brings the truth. The truth is we don't know our history. And most of the time we use the history that all the culture brought to us to solve our own problems. And so why Casa de Marte? Casa with K, it means wisdom. And so it's necessary to bring the wisdom of Ma'at so we can see the truth, so we can know the truth about ourselves, about where we come from, and basically about our legacy. And when I start, many years ago, I started yoga, I started meditation, and then I found the benefits. And so I started be training to teach those practices. But every training that I went wasn't in African tradition. So I felt like something's missing. And years later, I went to the Academy of Comedic Education in Boston, where my beloved teacher, Dr. Neteri, has a wonderful center. And I started learning the origins. Where are those practices come from? And that is when I start to go deep and bring back these practices so that it makes sense today. Because any part of our legacy that our ancestors left for us needed to make sense today. And that's what we do at Casa de Marte. We are not interested whatsoever in create any other religion, any other cult, any other trend, just for adoration, just for, no, we need, that is important because we are, as African, we have a very solid spirituality. But that spirituality needed to make sense and needed to help to solve the problems that we have.
Yes.
If whatever we bring to our community cannot solve our personal and community problem, it doesn't make sense to us. And that's what Casa de Marte does. We have practices as yoga that we call Semat, is the original name of union. We have games that we call Senet, is the game that we can, through our own body, bring the 42 laws of Ma'at. We have the Kaaba is the tree of life. The tree of life is the diagram in how we can navigate in this space of in earth, and how these teachings are, are there for us to solve our problems, psychological problem, health problem in our conscious. Because if we change the way we think, we can change the way we behave, and we can change the way around us. So when I start to learn the origins of these practices, I say, what make more sense to me to go deep in the African wisdom, and not diminish any other culture or any other line of thought, of practice. But as an African person, it makes more sense to me. And that's what we do at Casa de Marte. We use our legacy is our medicine. And medicine is necessary for us to understand that anything we do, don't, for our spirit, for our mind, for our psyche, have to help us to move it forward to solve our problem in healthcare, the way we live, the way we eat, the way we communicate with each other, because it's all connected. We cannot be well if our communities are falling apart. And we have teachings in our wisdom, in our legacy, that help us to navigate in our own language, in our own DNA, because we know long time ago our ancestors studied there. They learned and they left the teachings for us. Now we can have this for our own benefit. So our language, the Meduneta, is the original language of Kemet. And we can meditate in this divine and sacred language.
What was the language again? What name did you say?
Meduneta.
Medunata. Okay.
Meduneta is, and many other practices, like for example, meditation.
Yeah.
In our meditation, we use the images of our ancestors for healing. And it doesn't make more sense to us to look at an image from our ancestors than look at the image for other cultural ancestors. It's things that make so much sense. And when we bring this to the community, and we can teach this for anybody, any person who is looking for healing, because we cannot heal anybody. We can bring the teachings, and each person gonna do their own healing.
Okay.
But
so it's self-healing. It's not like
it's a it's the revolution of self-healing,
self-healing.
self-care. Yes, because we have the ancestors allowed us to have the tools. It's like if you are going to climb a mountain, you need equipment to do that.
Yes.
Depends upon if it's mild, if it's more advanced. You need, and if you're going to spend the night on a mountain, you cannot go in your bikinis. You need equipment to spend. If you're going to spend it 2 days or 1 week, so you're going to bring food. You need to know how to make fire. You need to be prepared.
Yeah.
So our ancestors knew, because in that time they have problems too. And we are talking about the origins of the creation and we have the pyramids, we have the Merkutis and Kermits that I didn't know that it was from our ancestors. I didn't know. I didn't at school. They didn't teach me that. They didn't teach me at school that Imhotep is the father of the medicine, and he is a black ancestor. I didn't know that the architecture, it is so much to learn. But even if we don't learn a lot, and we experience in our body and feel in our body, because that's what we want in those practices. We don't need to explain anything. We want you to feel. And for that feelings to happen, we use those equipments that our ancestors allowed us to have. So then when we look at the image, and then we're going to meditate on it, we're going to meditate on the laws of March, on the principles of March. And you can feel in our body, you can feel in your body the changes that occur with those images, with the changes with the words in Medunet, because it has a different vibration when you listen in African language. And then you feel that is the healing. That's the healing that takes place. And so we want to be very clear about that we are healers. We are healers in different levels of consciousness. Because when somebody comes to us and to learn from us, and what we do is like show what tools they can use, show what equipment they can use, and we're gonna help them. We're gonna be the vessel. We're gonna be the instrument of journey. But that person needs to do that job, because we don't do the job for anybody.
They do the journey themselves.
Each one have, and that is when the community starts to grow, because individually, the consciousness rises. So now we are here together, but I am in a different state of consciousness. And that is the only reason, in my opinion, we're still here today. Because after went through what we as Africans went through, what keeps us rising is the consciousness that we always have. Even if you never heard about Maat, if you never heard about Kemet, you can connect to another level of teachings, with another level of consciousness. But we know that when we are connected to African wisdom, African legacy, African teachings, things change drastically in our own self. And then we can replicate this outside of us. What is above is below, what is below is above. So that's what is inside is outside, what is outside is inside. Those are the teachings. And we dedicate we are starting now actually a training to teach professionally therapists in this wisdom in Brazil.
Brilliant.
Oh,
absolutely brilliant.
Yes, because Brazil is I believe it's still the second country with which most Black people are outside of Africa.
Yes, after Nigeria. Yes.
Yeah, outside of Africa. So have healing practices that are into the health system in Brazil, from China,
Oh.
from India, and we don't have from Africa.
Yeah.
And so what we are creating is healing. We are not creating the healing system, because we we are learning from our ancestors, but we are putting together. And that's what Ankh Mesma Art is a curriculum. Ankh means life in Medu Neter. And when we say Ankh Mes, we are like we were born for this life in March. So we were born for the life in truth, justice, order, harmony, and balance. And this curriculum, Ankh Mesma Art, bring out these practices in one method, and we call Shen. A method, the method Shen is the help, because translating Portuguese, but I'm gonna try translating in English, is health, holistic health, and natural medicine.
Yes.
Oh,
So
yes. Yeah. Holistic
this
health in
is
natural medicine.
medicine. So this will be a training from July to March of 2026 with 10 people. We are chosen 10 people, the African descendants, to be training in this method. And then after that, we're going to be together for 1 more year to practice and to give it support to this group. And what this group does is they can besides to have like a professional field, they will be prepared to deal with the stress that is caused by the races in Brazil. Our community needs to have a specific healing system to deal with our own people.
Yes.
Yes.
That is enough
100%.
to have to go to people who don't have any idea what we go through and seeking for healing,
Yeah.
that spiritual healing.
From
So that's
people.
what we do. This system is the first class this year, and they're gonna be prepared to work with individuals or with groups. So that's what Casa de uma Arte is doing. Casa de uma Arte now has a center in Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil. From November on this year, we're going to start doing retreats. We're going to start to do healing sessions. And that's what we do. That's what we are doing. Because this meeting here, and I say every time that you get together to move forward as we are now here, we are healing. Healing takes place in very variable ways.
Forms.
So
in different ways.
but forms, yes. And so that's what we do. And how we do, why we chose the method, and why we chose this method. Because in Cape Verde, we have a brother, Kwesi Tafari, who already is using this method there
Oh.
with his community, and the improvement that he is seeing is amazing. So we want to bring the science, because what we do is like we know our spirituality, African spirituality, is the unseen science. We cannot see it, but it's science. But we want to bring the science that is seen spirituality, so we can prove the system. This works for us, and if it works for us, it have to be in the official system in our community.
In our
And that's why
communities, yeah.
yeah, that's what we do. We don't want to be something that we need the credibility that we deserve. And
Yes.
that is overdue.
Yes,
Yes.
overdue. Yeah,
Is
yeah.
overdue.
It's
Yes.
overdue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, sister, for that extensive explanation. You've covered the what, you've covered the why, and I believe how. So thank you so much. And
Thank you for having me here.
yeah, we're not finished with you yet, sister.
Okay.
But the point you made about credibility, I do remember, like for Chinese medicine, years ago, the British never looked down on it. They didn't
Sorry.
appreciate it. And now I don't think you can go many places without
Without
seeing
seeing.
Chinese herbalists,
Yeah.
um, Chinese practices, Tai Chi, all that is there. And it's good that we're doing for self, but I think the main thing is we of African heritage
Yeah.
have to believe in it.
Indeed.
We have to believe in it because
Yeah.
if we don't believe in it, we're the ones that needs the most healing
Healing. Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
all, I would say, communities. So yeah, it's just really. I'm so glad we've connected.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Brother Jose, do you want to come and ask Sister Rosa any questions or comment?
Yes, there is a lot to digest, I
Unpack.
would say,
Yes.
a lot
Yes.
to take in. But obviously, we had the privilege to have, to be with this sister Rose a few days in Jamaica. So for us, maybe we've got a clear idea that where she leads us to. However, I want maybe to all the teaching, all the legacies that you have spoken about, sis, the language. How can we make this more accessible to us? Because the issue is, as you quite rightly said, Brazil is the largest, um, you know, the country with the largest population of African descent outside Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
outside Africa, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And nevertheless, you've got the Chinese and Indian, as you said, but you've got nothing to do with us. Do you think that this is well, because we don't know, or because we don't, we're not interested? So how do we bring it? You started now with this program, which is fantastic. Obviously, we wanted to know a bit more about that. But how do we take it? Because it's not just Brazil, it's not just UK, it's not just United States. Even inside the continent of Africa, I
How
believe that
do?
we need to do some work on that.
Yes.
How do we
Yes.
do that?
Mm.
Yes. This is. I had a meeting last week. With the group that is putting this together with Casa de Maat,
Yeah.
and brought we the summit in Jamaica shows, like some other places that we go, how much we need to work to get resources, financial resources.
Yes.
And that's what, and I am not saying that our community don't have resources. We do have, but it's not direct. These resources are not going to us. They are going to all the places, all the cultures, all the
Other communities.
communities. And because we are in the disadvantage in this systemic racism in all the levels, economic, in real estate, in health and wellness, every single aspect. Most of the time, we don't have the resources to make this go and spread as fast as we would like to do. So in this meeting, when we um, meet with the community to present what we are bringing, most of the time we are dealing with people who have the desire but cannot afford.
Yeah.
And so we have now the Institute of Casa de Maate, that is the institute that try to get funds so we can go where is needed and bring people to be trained, but we don't have yet the resources. So what is missing here is justice, first of all, because we don't have the undeserved privilege of some other groups.
Yes.
And I don't think it is desired from our community. I think things are here that is still, even without the internet and all the communication that we have, our legacy is still hidden. We don't have enough and serious direction to these communities. It is some people, yes, it is easy for some people who have some understanding to look forward, but we need to understand that we need to bring things to the community in a way that makes sense to them.
Yeah.
And what makes sense to them is health. Health makes sense to them. And that's why we don't deal with religion. Some people, unfortunately, some people think that it is because our history is in, it has a spirituality that is nothing that is put in a box. Is our ancestors studied the nature, and that is what the spirit is and our nature. But what I say and what I see in Brazil, and I think is the reality all over the world, is we try to explain too much and people feel too little. And that's why we want people to feel a lot, so we don't have to say too much.
Yeah.
That's well
It's
said.
a feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good feeling.
Sorry, sis. Do you mind if I just come in again?
No, go
I
on.
agree with you. I agree with you that of course there is lack of resources, but obviously we all know that we are where we are because for whatever reason, the specific interest, the system was designed for us to be there. So my question and our challenge also is why would they give us resources to do that? Um, is it sensible for us to be looking for them to fund what we want to do? Maybe. This is one thing I wanted to, maybe you could help us reflect. On the second thing, for example, I'm thinking you said something which is so powerful, like you cannot be doing well if your community is falling. So for me, this literally brings it home. My community is falling. It doesn't matter. And I use another expression, which is a millionaire amongst poor people is just a poor man or woman with money, which means that he or she can do nothing. He or she has no impact or considerable impact. So having said that, we needed to question, or I wanted to question ourselves if it is sensible for us to put the beautiful program, the beautiful thing, and go to those people to fund us. Maybe I'm not seeing it correctly.
I can come in.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a. a conversation needs to
be
be
had.
had within the community, and it's about well-being. Everybody, and I think now, are conscious of the challenges of well-being post the pandemic, and you see it being spoken about more. The young people in the West struggling with their well-being. So there is a need. We've got to have a conversation with the community as how to heal. And I think that's what we can bring. Because if you go to the GP, I mean, I can talk about the UK now. Post the pandemic, it didn't take all weeks, a month, even to do talk therapy. Now it's much longer,
Yeah.
and it doesn't meet the specific cultural needs of our people, because you can't even influence whether the practitioner you're going to see is from our community. So I see that we need to have a conversation, and I think there is an awareness. I recently attended 2 Saturdays ago a well-being workshop that was done by the Nigerian community in Luton. That's where I said there is an awareness, but the workshop was funded not by the community. They had to go to funders to do the workshop.
Okay.
If you understand. So there's an awareness of a need,
Yes.
but who provides the healing? However, presented at the workshop was a neuropsychologist
Okay.
from our community, and she's designed a well-being journal. So it was delivered by us, for us, with a tool for us that had representation of us. So I think there is an awareness now, much more. We've just got to fill it with solution. Like what you're saying, Sister Rosa, you're doing the mountain climbing. I
Yes.
thought that was
You have to
beautiful
have the
illustration.
equipment.
Yeah.
So we have to gather the equipment, look for the equipment to put together and use it to help ourselves to on that spiritual healing journey.
Yeah.
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 Yes, we
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to do that.
And since then, just by doing that workshop, yesterday I attended the Reach Society. This is an organisation in Britain run by blacks to help young people, having a beautiful conversation with a young man who's experiencing trauma at school, being had a knife pulled on him by a young person because he's big and strong from the Caribbean. And I was able to his mentor, to send her the website of the Wellbeing Journal. Okay. So we gathering the tools is really key. Yes, as Brother Jose said.
I'd really be interested to know more about that program, you know, the one that Casa de Maat is putting together. So that brings
Can you talk to us, Rosa, more about the program, please?
Yes, the program is start. We still in selecting the 10 first people, but into the program we have, it's just so you can have an idea of the curriculum. We have the Kaaba spiritual meditation. You know that Kaaba is this diagram of psychological, spiritual, and physical health, and how we navigate what equipment we born with, so you can deal with the daily life, knowing that we are spirit, but we are living this terrestrial experience. So this is the one part of the curriculum, the Medunetter, that's the sacred language. We have the Senate, that is this game from Kemet, that you
Excellent.
can embody the 42 laws of Ma'at. We have the Samat, what is today called yoga. We call Samat, where we are going in our own body, we produce the movement of our ancestors that is on a pyramids, what we call Merkut, but it's the pyramids on a text. In the If you go to the museum, like for example, the museum in Boston or New York, you see those amazing, amazing sculptures. And each of these positions, the poses that they have, has a meaning behind it. So this is our sandwich. We have the rake, the rice rake, that is the African the rake. And that is our medicine. There's many other things, but those are the major ones.
Okay.
And also we are having because Casa de Mates is a school, and we have our goal is to training people so they can not just heal themselves, but help with the healing of others and have a professional field too. So we are bringing next year the Master Pablo Imani from Kenya to do an in Brazil at Casa de Mate African yoga training. So he's gonna be doing for I believe 7 days or 10 days. I can't remember right now. But if anybody's interested to do in Rio de Janeiro, he's coming from Kenya next year. And we're gonna have many other trainings and many other classes
Like that.
to teach our legacy. But this training, our goal is to have people in the community helping with others, because we know we have abundance of healing practices in our community. Like we have people who work with herbs, people who work with different things, and we just want to get these people together. Let's have this available to us.
Brilliant. But before Brazil next year, sister, you're going to be in San Tome
Yeah.
at our
I
summit.
know.
So,
And then we
can you
can
just
do
tell our listeners what they can expect?
A flavor.
Yes,
A flavor.
flavor. Yes. And from this flavor, I'm gonna take a little bit from last year in Jamaica.
Oh.
I have some feedback from the meditation, from the people who were there, and the feedback was like, "Wow, that was something really powerful." Because what I will bring it to São Tomé is something that we just need to remember is already within us. Because as I say, the Kaaba is this diagram within us. When we as divine, as spiritual, and we are energy. And when we have the privilege to come to the earth to materialize the divinity, we come with equipment. We come with so sometimes we see something and you say, "Oh, I think I saw this before," or I say, I have to go to this place, but if something is telling me that I shouldn't go, that is our intuition.
Intuition.
So we come with it's
With that.
within us. We come with our imagination. That's the power of creating something to make this something be manifested in physical form. We have all the equipment, and the meditation help us to activate those equipment, because we live in a system who the job is deactivating those equipment
To
every day.
deactivate.
They study for this, they spend money. How we gonna keep these people busy?
So they don't think about
so
those inner things. Yes.
so they don't bother to ancestors wisdom.
No.
So what we're going to experience as a community, because it's always more powerful when we are in community, is activate those equipments so we can feel them within us. And it's something that you can bring home. And my suggestion now actually is, after the summit, we can create a group and meditate once a week or every 2 weeks together.
Ah,
Create a
yes.
group to do that.
Yes.
I do in Brazil. I run meditation once in a while. I'm gonna start a new one in July. But we can do with the people from different parts of the world
The
and
world.
meditate
Lovely.
and heal together. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So it will
No,
be
that would be
beautiful.
great.
I know it will be beautiful, because in Jamaica was amazing. I am so grateful to be part of this wonderful. And I am tell people, go, come to us with us, because we are not. It getting to a point that we should stop to go to Disney. We should stop to go to places
To
that has
Disney.
nothing to do with us. We need we needed to know that we have a wonderful opportunities to get together,
I
and
know.
it's
True.
luxurious, it's
True.
beautiful. The food was amazing, and I know will be amazing. The place we stayed was amazing, because some people think, well, where we go, how we gonna eat, how we have everything superb. Is they are working one year to another, so we can go there and enjoy the nature, enjoy the community, the amazing people that I met there. Was So why we spend money to go to places that don't even want us
Don't want us
to
there.
begin with? And so
That's true.
that is my invitation. Let's
Okay, well
go,
Oh,
done.
thank you,
let's
Thank you,
sister.
Sister
enjoy.
Rosa.
Yes,
Yes,
and
you have
I
whetted.
appreciate it to be with
Yes,
you, with
you have,
part of it.
you have whetted our appetite about this, and so Sister Rosa there is talking about our summit, our second summit, second edition of our Ubuntu Awakening Summit. And that will be taking place from the 7th to the 14th of August 2025 in Sao Tome and Principe. Now, this little, not very known, but paradise of a place is found towards the western side of our continent, and it is paradise really. Beautiful hills, beautiful uh, fauna, beautiful flora, and we will be there during that time. So we are extending this invitation for everyone to come and enjoy this space. This the evenings and the mornings and the sunsets and the sunrises in Sao Tome. Brother Jose,
Thank
are you still there?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
I'm here. Of course,
Do
I'm
you want
here.
to give
How
us
could I?
more details about the summit, please?
Well, thanks a lot for that, Sister Rosa. Obviously, how we feel when we are next to you. Anyway,
Indeed.
thank you.
I don't think we can express in words what happened in Jamaica,
No.
particularly the circle of fire. You spoke about
Ah,
meditation, but maybe you forgot the circle of fire.
that was beautiful.
The It really ignited the fire in people. And
Yes.
Sao Tome, definitely we're gonna do another one, but there in open air. There is a space reserved for that already. But besides that, Sister Rosa is going to go with us to Anambra, which was the very first enslavement hub ever created in the world. And this is where more than 40% of people, African descendants in Brazil today, this is where they went through. So we're going to go there to talk to our ancestors. We're going to go there to actually um, tell them that we are, that we are aware. And definitely Sister Rosa is going to guide us in that wisdom and what is inside. Obviously, people know that there is a equator line there. If you've never been over the equator line, this is your opportunity to go and see on one side the water going clockwise and the other side the water going anti-clockwise, and of course dance, the food, the fish, the I mean, just be ready, because literally we're going to do the best we can to blow you away in in
In a
joy.
nice sense.
In a
Yes,
nice
exactly.
sense.
In joy. So it's a privilege. Thank
Yes.
you.
Will be amazing.
What's the
Amazing.
Yeah,
contact address, please, Jose, for anyone
yeah,
who's interested to be able to get in touch so we can learn more about it?
yeah. Okay, let's see. Obviously, they can send an email to summit, SUMMIT, at ugewealth.com, UGE wealth.com. They can call the general number two.
Yes, but
Yeah,
we've given enough details at least for contact and AUK as well,
yeah.
at the radio from which
Oh,
we would be sending this out. On
y-
YouTube, you can watch. You can There's contact details there that and it
yeah,
will flash as well on the
yeah.
video
The
Yes,
recording.
phone
it will
number
Yeah,
come
there.
up.
so
Oh,
when it comes out.
just one thing, sister. Sorry, I forgot to give the website, just in case if
Oh,
people want to go
yes, indeed.
On the
and find
website.
more information. Is summit, SUMMIT, dot ugewealth, UGEWEALTH.com. So they can go there and find all the more information about that. And let's be together in Saint Tomé in 2 months' time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
brilliant. Take
yes.
care, Sister Rosa.
I
Thank you.
see you in São Tomé.
It's been so
Yes.
good to
You
hear
See
your
too.
you.
voice
See you.
again.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Thank
I
Thank you
just
you.
so
remember
much
that
for
circle
having
of
me
life.
here.
You have a blessed evening. Thank you to everybody that's online. Thank you for joining and listening to the conversation of Umoja Voice.
Yes, thank you very much.
We'll see
And
you again
in the next
next time.
edition, yes, thank you.
All
Thanks a
Thank you.
lot.
right.
Have a good
Thank
one.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.